It's been one of the best purchases that I've ever made in my life.
I have 6 grandkids, and I am able to get on the floor and play with them. Thanks for being there for me. I really appreciate it. Keep up the good work and stay upside down.
Man, it feels so good and just really relaxes you. I don't know that I'll ever not use this every day.
We use it every night right before we go to bed. We love our inversion table and we couldn't do without it.
I just really wanted to say thank you.
Wow, I just love hearing those testimonials. It's amazing what a difference the Teeter table has made in people's lives. Millions of users worldwide. We are here to celebrate their 23-and-a-half-year anniversary in the business. And certainly we are just honored to have this table here at HSN. I'm Callie Northagen, by the way, welcome. We've got a full hour to talk about the incredible benefits of inversion. And if you would like to take a minute to share your experience, our testimonial lines are wide open. We're gonna put a phone number on the screen periodically throughout the show. I'd love to hear from you. Because as you just heard those other folks and their experience, you can only imagine how many people have made the decision to move forward on it because of somebody else's positive experience. That's what this is all about. So in the meantime, you can read reviews on this table. It is a customer pick and has been for all the years, the decades that it's been here at HSN. We're celebrating today with our final day of shows and $100 savings. This is, even at $450 at HSN, it's a better price than if you went to their website. Sorry, Roger, but I know he would want me to share that with you because HSN is a special place for him to make his product available. The benefits really are all about you taking charge of your life, whether it's a little bit of lower back pain, stress and tension. The elongation process of just feeling taller when you get done is amazing. You will have more circulation and you just feel a little tingle and more energy when you get off. So we're gonna get into the benefits because the list is long. But again, as we share with you this final day at this $100 savings and with free shipping and handling, I would hope that you can make your purchase today. This is the latest and the greatest, the best table that Roger has ever put out to market. I'm gonna share a little testimonial with you. This gentleman had no idea what was about to happen to him. Nobody knew what he was gonna say. They just wanted to hear his experience. His name is Horace. We'll tell you more on the other side.
I was always an active person. I've always been physical. To have that come to a screeching halt was something I really couldn't live with. Physically, mentally, and emotionally, I was totally a grumpy old man. When I got my Teeter, that's when it all changed for me. And the more I worked my back, the more relief my back gave me. And that's when I knew that this machine really works. It's so simple and yet so effective. If it wasn't for the Teeter, I wouldn't be the person I am today. It put the smile back on my face. If I was face to face with Roger Teeter, I would cry like a baby because what he gave me was my life back. And I thank him. I thank him for that.
You can just tell me in person.
Oh, God. Thank you, sir. I didn't know you were going to be here.
I love my job, and it's because of testimonies like yours. I wrecked my back, and inversion changed my life. This is not a gimmick. We're not just selling product. We're selling a changed lifestyle.
Yes.
So many people have written off their ability to move freely because of old age. No, it's the long-term effects of gravity combined with lifestyle, posture, and a whole lot of other things. Teeter's a way to fight back against that.
I can't thank you enough.
Oh my gosh, every time I see that, my goosebumps get bigger and bigger, I think, because lives have been changed. You can live a life without pain, without having to mask it from some medicine cabinet bottle, and you can truly take care of your overall health and prevent, future injury down the road, because it's a strengthening experience too. We call it the passive side of fitness here at HSN, but it gives me great honor to introduce you to the man who invented this table. I know it was almost 24, 25 years ago. His name is Roger Teeter, and he's still hanging upside down. Good to have you, Roger.
Great to be here. I just absolutely love my job. And really, Horace, we didn't know what he was going to say. That really was a surprise. We kind of pulled a trick on him. But it explains the emotion that all of us feel when you have a life-changing experience. I wrecked my back 45 years ago, and on worst days I couldn't even get out of bed, Kelly. I had to crawl hands and knees into the shower to get hot water in my back just to stand up. Nothing I tried worked until I found Inversion. The relief I got was temporary, Kelly, but it lasted longer, was more effective than anything else I tried. And because of that, my wife and I started that business in our garage.
Wow.
40 years ago, and I've been virtually pain-free ever since.
Wow. The story you have is so amazing, and we're going to get into that, and I hope to hear other people's experiences while we're together today, Roger. There's only this show and one more late tonight. One of the things I want to make sure everyone understands, because your table is, look at that, it's on the screen right now, read my mind, 5-year warranty. That is unheard of in the industry. We're going to talk about the UL standards of safety, because you exceed every single one of them. That's super important. It is, by the way, 85% assembled when you receive it, so that's easy. And the most important thing to me that I want to share is that it is an FDA cleared, registered Class 1 medical device. So that is enormously important. And this is a long list of things that it is used to help to treat. Raj, I'll let you do the honors because this is impressive.
All right, these are 10 different causes of back pain, and they're common, and some are very serious. Just back pain generally. Sciatica, that's a pinched nerve. Spinal degenerative joint disease, that's the same as osteoarthritis. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles. Muscle tension, and then there's a whole nother 5. Herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. Those 10 things are caused by different issues and problems, but Teeter deals with all of them because Teeter gives back pain relief in 4 different ways. It stretches and relaxes all the muscles in the back. Now, in fact, we got an animation here. This is you inverting. You don't have to go to full inversion, but the first thing you're going to feel is all those muscles throughout the back relaxing and the tension running out your fingertips. And as you relax, you will elongate 1 to 2 inches. That's a real number. I'm not exaggerating. As you elongate, look, that spine straightening out. And here's the biggest deal of all, decompressing those joints. You got a pinched nerve, herniated disc, take the pressure off. Less pressure is less pain. And the 4th way it relieves back pain is to help those discs to rehydrate. They are avascular. They do not get nutrition from blood source. They get it from absorbing moisture from surrounding tissue. And they can only do that under low pressure. When you're in bed, you're still under 25% of standing body pressure, as we're going to see from the Nackhamson study later on. But with Teeter, you can take the pressure of those discs to at or near 0, and that's why 3 to 5 minutes can be so effective in rejuvenating those discs and helping to rehydrate and get a snack and a break from hauling you around all day.
It's true. We put our bodies through so much, and the stress and the strain, I think, of just the last year and a half we've all lived with or lived through has caused its own set of tensions. But, it's true. 3 to 5 minutes a day is all it takes. Some people do it in the morning. Some people do it at the end of the day to relax and fall into sleep. It's absolutely up to you. But the one thing that you do need is to have the table, is to get this table, because you can use it, your husband can use it, your wife can use it, your partner can use it. Everybody can use this, and I know, I'm gonna invert here too. It's really important to understand all the upgrades that you've put into this table over the years, Raj, because to offer this at $350 here at HSN is the lowest price you're gonna find anywhere. And this is an important purchase that you'll own, that everybody in the house can benefit from. And I know I'm gonna have you go through some of the upgrades. The one thing I do know for sure is that as we age, we lose flexibility. And so you've got to be doing something to help with that and to aid you in the stretch and the flex that you want for your later years in life. In fact, as I invert, Roger, I'd love to listen to Dr. Fryer and Dr. Long. Do you have anything you'd like to share with everybody before we hear their thoughts?
Yes, well, Dr. Long, I'm so honored that he's giving a testimony. In fact, he uses the table, Teeter, personally, and he uses it in his practice, which is worldwide. He is an extremely well-known neurosurgeon. He was a head of one of the largest universities in the United States and head of neurosurgery for 35 years. And the fact that he endorses it and uses it personally is an awesome testimony. So let's hear what they have to say.
So when you decompress, there is a lengthening of the spine. And by doing so, with a greater disc height, you've got more room for the nerves, there's less compression with the facet joints, and the spine is just much happier.
For the past 53 years, I've been a neurosurgeon with a major interest in chronic pain and dealing with many patients with back pain. Most patients tell me if they use their Teeter inversion table on a regular basis, they simply feel much better. No one has to do anything to you, and I think it's a very natural way to deal with the problem.
I love that. Incredible thoughts and comments from two professionals. Roger, I know that some people are looking at the table going, I wouldn't even know what to do when I get it to start. So I wanted to have you, while I invert, talk about the Teeter Move app, a free app that you guys have uploaded.
Yeah, that's a brand new app that we just provided. It is absolutely free, and it has all kinds of information as far as use of the table. It has coaching from me. It is a tutorials. It has so much information all packed into your phone, and it's just a free download. You can just download it right now, and you can refer to it. It gives you some exercises that you can do when you're first starting out, and how you would progress each step along the way. Also, there's a number of exercises that are off the table, the idea to provide a healthier, more flexible back and be able to be active and into your retirement years. You know, I'm, what, 83 at the end of this summer?
Goodness.
You know, and you know what, Callie, I just love it, because I've just been water skiing, 9 times in the last 2.5 weeks, and I realized it was water skiing, running the slalom course 45 years ago, that wrecked my back. I mean, that's how I wrecked my back. This was just shot. This was shot at the end of last year. And those are high loads. And here I'm doing it at 82 years old, and the very thing that wrecked my back 45 years ago. And of course, keeping up with this kid, you got to invert when he's coming over, let me tell you.
Oh my
But this is what retirement ought to be. You ought to be able to do the things you love to do. You know, to ride a bike, to play with the kids. I got a little rowing machine here, and a beautiful place to row. It's, you know, I just, being active like this, it is so precious, especially being able to water ski and snow ski with your grandchildren, not just tell them what I used to do.
Right, or sit in the lodge and watch and wait for them to join you for lunch. That's a great point. So Roger, you know, and if somebody is just tuning in, I'm so glad you're here. We know that living a life of pain is not the way you want to live your life. You know, it's really, really difficult, tiring, exhausting, emotional, crabby time. This is such a better solution than, like I said before, going to a medicine cabinet and just popping a pill to kind of like get through the day. This could help you over time to really just be an overall healthier person. I'd love to share the NACMSM study, Roger, because I think it's really fascinating how much load our bodies take, even without realizing it. I'll let you go through this if you don't mind.
Absolutely. This study was done in Gothenburg University a number of years ago, and that bright light you just saw is the location of a surgically implanted pressure sensor in the back of a number of volunteers. The baseline, the base pressure reading standing up is the 100% that you see in the upper right-hand corner. And then each person went to different body positions to see how the pressure would change. Well, it doubles when you bend over, but you knew that. Did you know this? Sitting in good posture, 50% higher loads than standing. And there's your formula for back pain. 2.5 times the loads. That's us hunched over a small screen. How about this last year? Have you had more back pain problems this last year? Have you had trouble moving as freely? That is from a lot. Sitting's the new smoking. That last 25% goes to bed with you. It's not caused in this case by gravity. It's caused by the construction of the spine. You've got hundreds and hundreds of ligaments and 140 muscles. They stabilize the spine, but they hold it in background compression like a lot of rubber bands. And those rubber bands are strong. So the only way to decompress and hydrate those discs, see that moisture going into the discs and the realignment here, that's what decompression does. And there's no other way to comfortably get decompression. You know, aerobic, anaerobic, Pilates, even yoga headstands, they're still compressive.
Yeah,
everything we do is compressive. This is decompressive. This gives all weight-bearing joints, not just your back, but knees, ankles, hips, all of them a pressure break during the day and help to rehydrate, realign, and become more supple and flexible so that you can be more active.
I love what you just said, help to rehydrate, realign, to become more supple. We don't realize how those soft tissues need hydration, and you need to stretch that to be able to get that flowing again, if you will, layman's terms here. I wanted to let everybody know, if you're just tuning in, just a few minutes into the hour, there's only this show and one late tonight. I'll probably be sleeping. I don't want you to wait, because, I mean, the truth is, if you wait, you're gonna spend $100 more than you have to today. I say have to, but it is something that you will realize is worth every single penny, even if you had to pay a higher price than a normal HSN price. This is an incredible savings. Don't forget, the shipping is free. This is a big piece. It comes 85% assembled, but it's a big piece. I mean, the thing weighs about 65 pounds and is coming to you for free in terms of shipping. One payment gets it to you of about $70. That's the only investment you're having to make today by using an HSN card. Oh, HSN card. If you don't have it, today's the last day to save $40 on your first purchase. So you could take another $40 off of our sale price and get this for $309. That's incredible. Something to think about. Today's the last day to save $40 on opening up your card. Then I do want to share what you're getting here, because it comes with this is video to show how easy it is to assemble. Raj, do you want to add anything to this before I go through everything else you're getting?
You'll spend more time getting out of the box than you will assembling it. Just a couple of points. This all-important part with all these small pieces fully assembled out of the box. The bed's fully assembled out of the box. There are 2 bolts that are relevant to packing, not really assembly. You'll understand that when you unbox it. The A-frame's fully assembled as far as the feet are on, the spreader arms on, the easy angle tether straps on. So what have you got to assemble? Well, the only thing you have to put on are these upgraded handles, and they require 3 machine screws and 1 bolt. You literally will take more time getting it out of the box than you will, putting it together. And by the way, a lot of people don't realize this, but it's very easy to store, but you've got to pay attention how I do this, because even people that own the table get it wrong. You slide it all the way up, there's a locking hole there, and then rotate the bed opposite of use. Opposite of use. And then it folds up very nicely to go behind a couch, in a closet.
Yep. That's how I've got mine right in my guest room. It's right in my guest room at the foot of the bed, and I keep it stored up like this. It just opens up really quickly. You jump on, and 3 to 5 minutes later, you just feel like a better version of yourself. Roger, I have a treat. I don't know that you're aware, but we're gonna head out to the phones to say a quick hello to.
Great.
Are you ready to hear who it is? It's Horace.
Oh, hey, really?
It's Horace in California.
Hi, Roger.
Hi, Horace. I'm sorry. I apologize for the trick we paid on you, but you were so sincere that your testimony has been a tremendous addition, because it was truly from the heart, nothing scripted. So I just love it. I love my job for reasons like this.
How are you doing, Horace? Tell us give us an update.
Well, Horace tried to call year after year. To this day, I still can't watch the video. I cry.
Oh.
Now the reason, I got to get unemotional, because the biggest reason that the world needs to know is I got hurt in 2009 really bad. I had a bad accident cutting a tree. I fell with a ladder. I broke 5 ribs, punctured my lung, and they missed that I hurt my 4 and 5. So in 2017, that's when I found out that I had the injury. So for that many years, I was hurt, and I got worse. The bones touched, they started to calcify, meaning they were fusing together. The sciatic nerve was pinched, arthritis set in, it crippled me, I couldn't walk, I couldn't get off the couch. I thought I was done. And then I found Roger.
Oh my gosh.
And that changed my world. So what I did, I walked away from my doctor, and I got the Teeter, brought it home. It was August 22nd, 2017. And by September, Labor Day weekend, which was only about 11, 12 days away, I was hanging upside down, and I heard this, and I knew that the bones finally pulled apart, which was unbelievable to me. The sciatic nerve pain went away. After a few weeks, the arthritis started to go away, and I started to get strong again. And I've been back to life all these years, and it's the most unbelievable thing that I use. I will never not teeter. You can't believe what it does for your nervous system. Your nervous system and your spine is the wire harness of your life. It monitors 3 trillion cells through that spine and does all the functions we do. What it did for me, besides fix the back problem, it opened up all those paths. I got the feeling back in my hands. I got the feeling back in my feet. I started riding my incumbent bike again and put my life back together. And that's why I was so emotional.
Yeah.
It was the hardest thing I ever done. And I went back to my doctor and told him, I have a spine therapist. We'll never talk about my back again.
Wow.
And that's the story I wanted the world to know, that Roger Teeter is the most honest and sincere salesman I've ever met. And his product is the greatest product for your back. There's nothing else. Don't go to your doctor and get pills. I threw mine away. Don't do that, people. Get a freaking Teeter, hang upside down, and I guarantee you, I'd stake my life, my reputation on Roger, that is the greatest product you'll ever have.
Wow.
And I've been waiting 4 years to tell the world.
Oh my
So
gosh.
there you go.
Horace, thank you so much for joining our show. I've got huge goosebumps. No wonder you're emotional.
It
Wow.
was the hardest thing in my life I ever did was to get myself back from nothing. My doctor kept giving me pills, told me more therapy, more. It wasn't going to help. My bones were frozen together. Teeter hanging upside down pulled it apart. And it saved my life, or else I'd have had to have an operation. And I guarantee you, my whole life I heard horror stories about going under the knife for your back. And there was no way I wanted anybody to cut down there with all those nerves. So that's why I had to thank Roger in person. To me, he's the greatest spine therapist in the world. And if people don't believe it, start hanging upside down and see what it's like. I've never used a strap. I always hang totally upside down, and I always come back to horizontal, because when I come back to horizontal and feel the Cali, you feel the spine tingling adventure that Roger talks about.
Yeah.
And I want you to do that for me. I want you to hang all the way upside down and then wiggle, stretch, and then come back up to horizontal and sit there on the table, and you'll feel it. It is unbelievable. So everybody in the world, buy this machine. I'm telling you, Roger, I love you, your family. I'll always be there for you. And I thank you again for helping me put my life back together. God bless you and your products.
Hey, Horace, now you're making me cry.
Well, you should. You got the greatest machine in the world, my man. I swear to God, I wish I could be promoting out there for you. In every medical center, every doctor should have one. I don't know why they don't. If they ever watched you, I swear to God, all neurosurgeons would get them in their office and hang people and open up those pathways, because that's what it did for me. And I can dance. I emailed Roger a year later because my daughter got married, and I danced all night, and I partied all night at that wedding, and I thanked him. He remembers it. I know I sent him the email. But my story was incredible. I never told the whole thing. I just wanted HSN, because I hear you women say, oh, Horace, you know, and I'm thinking, you know what? I need to tell my story.
You
That's
did.
part of it. And I want everybody out there, just buy it. Believe me, you won't regret it. It's the best investment you'll ever make. Your doctor's co-pay visits and all that. I paid for my Teeter in probably 3 visits to my doctor.
Good
and I haven't
point.
been back. I will not go back for my back ever again. I want the world to know that, because Roger is my spine therapist. Nobody else. He knows spines better than any medical doctor. Yeah.
Thank you so
what a
much,
precious
Horace.
phone call. Thank you so much, Horace.
Just awesome.
All right,
wow.
go back to selling it. That's a great machine.
Wow.
Bye-bye.
Really, really great of him to call. I can't believe I got to finally meet Horace. That was incredible.
You know, I had a car accident at age 17. And I chipped a vertebrae. It was one of my many back problems that accumulated. And I had two vertebrae fused together. And I had the same experience after I started inverting. And it took 2 or 3 years. All of a sudden, that opened up again. And that greatly increased my flexibility. You know, so it's inversion is amazing. It's kind of a missing link. Decompression is something that you do not see in any daily living. Everything you do is compressive. Sitting's compressive. Aerobics, any kind of exercise is compressive. Just sitting at your desk is compressive, and it's worse than that in the sense that when you're sitting, the muscles that support your back are become inactive, and their job is to stabilize your back. So if you sit a lot, your back actually becomes weaker and less able to support the spine. So this is a way to keep a healthy spine. Here again, Kelly, you're inverting. You don't have to go to full inversion. The first thing you're going to feel is all those stretched, tense muscles throughout the back letting go, and as they relax, you will elongate 1 to 2 inches. Look at that spine straightening out. You know, if there's a misalignment, it'll self-correct. It wants to be straight. Decompressing, got a pinched nerve, herniated disc, take the pressure off. Less pressure is less pain, and then give those discs a break by helping them to rehydrate, to pick up the moisture that they've lost during the day, which is how they get their nutrition.
This is such an exciting show. I tell you what, just hearing Horace and his whole experience, his whole story, and there's so many like that. I mean, maybe not as emotional, but I mean, just the feeling of relief that millions of users are all over the world benefiting from your tables. Now, on that note, Roger, this is the latest table. There's a lot of, you know, improvements that you've made over the years. Obviously, the price hasn't gone up. In fact, it's $100 less today than it normally is. But this, do you want to talk to any of those upgrades and talk about?
Let's run through some of the features.
Yes.
I mean, the obvious one, this easy reach handle, this is actually developed for clinical use because anybody going to a clinic is likely, it's got back problems and they can't really reach over to get the locking mechanism that we used to have. So an easy reach handle, extremely comfortable foot supports, ankle supports, a comfort dial foot platform. This is for big shoes, small shoes. It's adjustable from 4'8" to 6'6". Has a 300-pound capacity, user capacity, but a 400% safety factor. In order to be UL safety certified, it must hold 4 times 300 pounds or 1,200 pounds. This is one of the UL tests. This is the most stringent one. If you look at there's a vertical line on the right with writing. That is the target that UL safety engineers said that Teeter needs to make. These are cycles. This is having the table with a 300-pound weight put on it and cycling back and forth has to go 30,000 times to meet the UL standard. That long blue line on top is us. We went 40,000 cycles and stopped it for time. And you know, Kelly, I got on that table and did sit-ups after the 40,000 cycles. Gosh. And I hope you looked at the lookalikes. They had catastrophic structural failures at just about 11% of UL spec value. And that's because, you know, when you cycle a table, there's a 1,200 pounds. The table must hold 1,200 pounds. There's your 300 pounds being cycled 30,000 times. Gosh. You know, when you rock back and forth like that, the metal that supports your weight is worked first one way, then the other, and it can fail in fatigue if it's not engineered properly. We are the only brand that uses high carbon steels, heat treated and key components. Every other table uses ordinary steel, and in fact, you can do your own test. Get a wire coat hanger that is ordinary steel and take it and bend it back and forth. You can break it in 1 minute. That is a fatigue failure. That is exactly what those 4 tables that had catastrophic structural failure happened to them. It was torn, bent, and broken metal. My background is aircraft engineering. I've been trained in how to engineer out fatigue, and we've done it with the Teeter using special steels, high carbon, heat treated. You don't even think about hanging upside down on a table that doesn't meet independent safety standards set by independent safety engineers, not somebody's marketing department.
Right, right. So important. Thank you for breaking that down for us and sharing that, because it's so important. 5-year warranty is also something that you're getting with this product. And then, of course, you know, this is a chance to try something that can change your life. It just, at the end of the day, we all deal with stress and pain. Muscle aches and pains is part of living on this earth. Gravity is always pushing us and compressing us. Not to mention all the things that we want to do, like getting out on I've been biking with my son lately. I mean, maybe get out there and play some tennis this summer, get on the golf course, get some boating in. Maybe you're a water skier like Roger. This is, you know, it's about having just the best experience in life without having to deal with pain. If you don't mind, Roger, before I have you, we're gonna share Nancy's testimonial, go through the list of things that this product is designed to help treat. And temporarily, yes, but the list is so important for people to understand. Would you mind?
No, absolutely not. It's a Class 1 medical device as defined by FDA, and FDA says that Teeter is indicated for back pain, for sciatica, for spinal degenerative joint disease. By the way, that's the same as osteoarthritis, just a different name. Spinal curvature due to tight muscles, muscle tension. Then we have another 5, herniated disc. That is huge. And Bow's disc, which is a precursor to herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, muscle spasm. Teeter deals with all 10 of those because it gives back pain relief 4 different ways. It gets stretching and relaxing all the muscles in the back, helping the disc to rehydrate, the spine to realign, and if you have a pinched nerve or herniated disc, it takes the pressure off. You know, I got so excited, Kelly, in talking about our safety and everything. I didn't mention some of the other features that I really want to highlight, because this table is absolutely unique. The reason we've changed the name, the color, and everything is because of a major re-engineering. You know, your people, HSN, and read the reviews. I mean, they're virtually all 5 stars. But one of the things they said is, we just wish it was a little more comfortable. Well, Kelly, you cannot put foam on an inversion table. It works against decompression. You sink into the foam instead of having your body elongate. You have to be able to slide. So how are we going to make it more comfortable? Major re-engineering. Yes, you're showing it there. Actually, the bed has been lifted off the frame. It's like a hammock. It's being supported by 8 balls, 8-point floating suspension. And when you sit on it, you actually, the bed gives way by about 1.5 inches, just as comfortable as a foam, but with none of the disadvantages of the foam. You know, so that's a major re-engineering. These traction handles, I'm going to give a little demonstration because I've got it set for my height. Now, if you're doing it for the first time, please use the easy angle tether strap, because I don't want you to go beyond an angle that you're comfortable with. But you'll find that you have such balance control, once you get the exact right balance, that you'll be able to stop yourself at any angle, even without the tether strap. The idea is to have this pivot point at your center of mass, so it's not necessarily right on your height, because it depends on weight distribution, but 80% of you will balance right on your height. But you should have this control. I am rotating this bed solely on the weight of one arm. You know, as I move the arm, the table rotates with me. Now, let's say that I've got a herniated disc, but this is all the further I feel comfortable going. I don't want to go at a steeper angle. Yet I know I need more decompression for a herniated disc or sciatica. Put the easy angle tether strap on, stop yourself at this angle, and then use the traction handles. You can use arm power and push on these handles and further elongate your body, decompressing it as though you were in full inversion. You know, so you don't have to go to full inversion. And once you get used to, you get able to add the angle more and more, finally take the strap off, you'll end up at this angle. You don't need to go to full inversion. You'll know you're there because of this hand grip. And this, you can pull and push yourself into shape. You can still use the traction handles at this angle. Full inversion, you don't need to go here, but believe it or not, 50% of regular invertees do go to full inversion because you got extra freedom. You know, you've got the flexibility of a much younger person. You know, I'll be 83 at the end of the summer, and the ability to move. You can do crunches. That's the toughest crunch on the planet. Inverted squats, sculpt the glutes, strengthen the hamstrings. You know, when you're coming up on 83, it's functional fitness that counts. And joints that work so you can water ski, snow ski, or just garden, get through a round of golf. And okay, I got to do my little trademark jump. Okay, even if you don't feel like jumping, you can do it. I just love my job, Kelly. All right.
You do always feel better when you get off this table. It's incredible. I get a little giddy.
Well,
I mean, it's, you know.
You're standing straighter.
Right, I was just going to say.
This is something you can see in the mirror.
The posture.
You know, poor posture is unattractive. You know, and you know, when you invert, your head's on top of your shoulders, your whole body straightens out, you look better in your clothes, and another biggie, you move youthfully. Because you have supple, flexible joints. Don't give away your age by how you move. It's not just how you look.
Yeah. It is true. Exactly. Your posture can certainly, you know, show your age. It's just such a good experience all around. I mean, short-term, long-term, all of it. Love, finally, to listen to Nancy's testimonial because she, well, maybe you can relate to her story. Keep in mind, our testimonial lines are open live as well, but here's Nancy in the meantime.
My back started to really bother me. I don't want to go through life being less and less of myself. I want to be able to do everything and anything that I want to do. The first time that I laid on the teeter, I got on there, locked my ankles in, laid back, and it was just a relief. I knew it was going to work for me. It's beautifully engineered. It doesn't take up very much space in your house. It's very easy to schedule it into your life. You lay down, you relax, you can meditate for a few minutes, you get off, and you're a new person. The biggest difference the teeter table has made in my life is that I have physical freedom. I'm probably really boring because when anyone complains to me about their back, I say, well, have you tried a teeter table? It helped me so much you have no idea.
See, word of mouth. That's why literally millions of users around the world. A lot of you have shared your story because you purchased your table here at HSN. It is the best place to purchase your table. Roger always gives us the best deals, if you will. I mean, a sale price on something that, this is $100 savings for you today. It's a really great time to finally do it. A lot of people put it off and then they finally get it and go, why did I wait? Because you know what, the longer you wait, the worse the situation, the more compression that you're still dealing with. And Raj, you and I were just addressing the whole system, or the topic, I should say, of an aging spine. We've got some visuals we want to share because it is just part of life, and unless you do something, to work against it, it's not going to get any better. Let's talk about this.
This is life on this planet, Kelly. As we get older, we get shorter. As we get shorter, we bulge out in the center. A lot of that middle-age spread is not weight gain, it's internal organs winning the race to the floor. It's kind of like a compression wrinkle. And that height loss, it's a big deal to lose your figure, yes. But the more important thing is that height loss is in the soft tissue of the joints, mainly your discs. And that's where your flexibility is, your shock absorption. And remember, more important, those discs control the size of the opening that nerves come through. I got spiny out here because it's so important you understand that. These dark lines, these are your discs. They're fluid-filled shock absorbers, and they're constantly changing their fluid content. When you go to bed, your discs are slowly rehydrate, and in the morning, they're thicker and you're taller. You're the tallest you're going to be all day. But as soon as you're upright, your own body weight squeezes moisture out of the disc, and you start to get shorter. Everyone loses 3/8 of an inch, half an inch during the day. That's why your pants get tighter in the afternoon. That's a compression wrinkle. And you adjust the rear view mirror down to drive home at night because you're shorter. I'm saying these things to show you what gravity does to your body. Now, those daily changes do reverse overnight, but not 100%, and you have a permanent height loss, and that's the one that steals your figure. And the thin disc means a pinched nerve. And when you misalign yourself, the disc has trouble going back because it's not as thick, it's not as supple as it used to be. By using teeter on a regular basis, it's a maintenance program. Keep youthful function. We all want to keep our youth. As we age, as an example, your skin becomes less elastic, and that's when wrinkles develop. But you know that's coming, so you get ahead of the game, start taking care of your skin. The spine is no different than any other part of your body. A regular program of proper maintenance will help you keep youthful flexibility and function. As the spine ages, it loses flexibility, like the skin loses elasticity. And Teeter is a way to keep youthful flexibility, which is what you've got to have if you want to water ski at 83,
right?
You know, or snow skate, or get to a whole round of golf, or have a life. This was shot last about 6 or 7 months ago, right at the tail end of last summer. But that's what I mean by running the slalom course. But keeping up with the grandkids. This takes energy, it takes flexibility. You want to get down on the floor with your grandkids or with the pets. That you gotta have a healthy spine.
Yeah. Yep.
You've got to have a healthy spine. You got a bad hair day, you put a hat on. You got a bad spine day, you are toast.
Yeah, you are.
And your whole family's shut down.
It's true. I mean, it ruins everybody's day. You're stuck at the house or in bed or on the couch, and everybody, it's just one of those things. Everybody needs to have this table. This is the table I have in my home. I had the original, or one of the originals, and then I upgraded to this one a couple years ago. I can't even tell you. I've had lower back issues my whole life. I was 12 years old, slid into a swimming pool thinking I was going into the deep end, and it was the shallow end, and I just, whoa. I mean, ever since, one little thing, twisting the wrong way can, trigger that all over again. So I just love knowing that the table's there. Even if I don't use it every single day, it's there to use when I need it. But most of you, I know Roger would recommend doing it on a regular basis, just 3 to 5 minutes a day. That's all it takes, just to kind of keep that flexibility happening in your life. I know our time is getting limited, Roger. I'd love to get to Dr. Tauntz and his testimonial, but I'm gonna let you share who he is before we hear from him.
He's a senior orthopedic surgeon at a Trauma One Center in San Diego. And actually, I had a head-on car accident in Mexico and had to get airlifted into San Diego. He was the doctor on call, and I got to spend a couple of weeks in the hospital and another week locally because I couldn't travel. And we got to know each other pretty well. Well, he bought 2 inversion tables. The one he uses personally, said, has helped him so much that he's recommended to at least 30 people, and the second one for his son, who's a spinal surgeon.
Wow.
But I want you to listen to his testimony. There's 2 really important messages. One is, do it on a regular basis. It's a maintenance program. And 2, the fact that you do have a daily height loss, and that is a precursor to a changed life over time if you don't do something about it.
The discs that sit here are like shock absorbers we have on the car. So when you get up in the morning, you may be 6'1". When you go to bed at night, you're actually about 6'1½". You lose 1/4 to 1/2 inch of height as these shock absorbers get squeezed and the water comes out of them. Then when you're asleep, they rehydrate. One of the advantages, I think, of Roger's device is that you can do this during the day too and give yourself kind of a break from the constant pressure on your back and on these shock absorbers to allow them to rehydrate by taking all the pressure off and letting them have some freedom. People that get on a standard routine and do it again and again do far better than people that go for 3 weeks of therapy and then re-injure again in a year, go for 3 weeks therapy. A daily routine, which is what Roger's recommending, I think is a very good way of getting your back in great shape so that as we stay vertical for our lives, we don't start breaking down later on.
Isn't that true? I mean, it's really helping you prevent problems down the road as much as it is helping you in a present kind of situation, right, Raj?
Yeah, there's so many benefits. I mean, having ready access to the table is really important. For those of you who have had a back problem in the past, you felt it move and you thought, oh my, but it really wasn't a problem until the next morning. Because what happens when you have a misalignment in the spine, the muscles in the area swell up and splint that joint so that it doesn't go further out of misalignment. But that swelling takes time, and it's usually the next morning that you're shut down. And of course, that swelling may stop it from going out of line further, but it also stops it from going back. But if you can get on a teeter, shortly after that, you feel that move, within a couple hours, the chances are it'll realign itself. That was what the U.S. Army found out. They did a study. In fact, you can check on the internet. Enter U.S. Army and inversion, and you'll see it. They did a study, 6.5 years, everybody in basic training, that's like 50 people in the class, several classes a year, for 6.5 years, everyone hung upside down 5 minutes at the end of the day, so that overuse and misuse and misalignments could self-correct, because they were losing about 60% of the women and 40% of the men for a day or more because of back problems and spinal misalignment problems from overuse during training. This eliminated that interruption, you know, and allowed them to have a much, by the way, that's my wife. I'm sorry, sweetheart. You know, she's joining us
Hi,
today
Jenny.
as my model. This is really a family, this is a family ordeal. She and I started this in our garage, 1981, and our daughter and her husband, Chris, have been running it for the last 15 years. So we took the first 25, and then we passed it on to them.
Wow, wow. Well, you know, what an incredible story. I mean, you developed this out of necessity for your own situation, and now 40 years later, it's just got to feel incredible knowing how many millions of people you have helped benefit as well. I know we've only got about 9 minutes left in the show. We still have time to take your live phone call, so please join us. And we'll run down all the features and the details of the machine or the product in a second. But Jim Johnson is another testimonial I'd love to share with you all, because everybody's experience is so powerful. Here's Jim.
Pain was part of my life, and not doing the things I love became part of my life. My daughter stopped asking me to do anything anymore with her because it's always my back, my back. The Teeter comes along, and it's like the light bulb goes off in my brain. I felt my body completely stretch out. Life is great again because I can live it, because I can participate in it. Now that the Teeter's here, Jim is back! Jim is back, and they cannot stop me.
I haven't heard that one before. That's how you feel. I mean, what a relief it is. If you're dealing with any kind of back issues, we'll go through the list of things that this is designed to really help with. And I'll remind you of a couple real big features. First of all, 5-year warranty. That's enormous. UL safety standards. This has exceeded every test that was put to you know, on the line. This is also a Class 1 medical device. It is a registered Class 1 medical device. So it's really important to understand that what you're getting is something made well. This is the best table on the market. Roger explained earlier the kind of material he uses and his background. I think that's important to share, as well as this list, Roger, and I'm gonna once again let you do the honors.
Yeah, back pain, sciatica, that's a pinched nerve. You feel that pain down your leg or your shoulder. Spinal degenerative joint disease, same as osteoarthritis, spinal curvature due to tight muscle, muscle tension. Herniated disc, bulge disc, which is a precursor to the herniated disc, degenerative disc disease, spinal stenosis, facet syndrome, and muscle spasm. Teeter deals with all of those, even though they're caused by different things, because Teeter gives relief 4 different ways, stretching and relaxing all the muscles of the back, helping the spine to realign itself. And if there's a misalignment, when you decompress a joint, just like the Army found out, it will realign it. It wants to be in alignment. Give it a chance, it will. Take the pressure off a pinched nerve, herniated disc, help to pull that bulge back in, using the force of gravity to do it, and helping those discs to rehydrate. That's a big deal. You know, discs are avascular. They do not have their own blood supply. They get their nutrition by absorbing moisture from surrounding tissue. But when you're upright, sitting or standing, the pressure is so high they actually lose moisture. They lose nutrition. Take the pressure down to at or near 0, like you're seeing there, and the discs rehydrate quickly. Yes, they rehydrate when you're sleeping, but sleeping, if you remember the Nakamson study, the back is still pressurized to 25% of standing body weight because the ligaments and muscles that encapsulate it, so the hydration is much slower than with a Teeter, where you can actually take the pressure down to at or near 0 and greatly accelerate. That's why 3 to 5 minutes truly makes a difference. You can hang longer, there's nothing wrong with that.
Sure.
Listen to your body, quit when you've had enough, but better to do several short sessions than one long one.
I agree with you. That's generally what I do. We've got time to say hello to Patricia, who is joining us on the phones from Indiana this afternoon. Nice to have you with us, Patricia. You're with Callie and Roger Teeter.
Hi, Patricia.
Patricia, do you hear us at all?
Hello?
There you are. Go ahead, Patricia.
There she is.
You're live with Roger Teeter.
Hi. I do hear you. I'm having trouble, though, hearing you over the phone.
Okay, you know what you need to do, Patricia, is turn your TV down in the background, then you can hear us a little better.
Yes. Hi. I'm having some phone trouble here. So my husband has My husband has one of those Teeter tables, and he has had it for about 2 years, and he is doing excellent with it because he injured his spine about 14, 15 years ago, and he has suffered with it ever since. And but my question is, personally for myself, can I use it with pacemaker? I have a pacemaker.
Well, I normally would not admit this on air, but I have a pacemaker too, okay? I think if you check on the internet, you'll find that that is not unusual. As far as replaced hips, knees, joints, the body is well designed to be upside down, even with a few modifications.
There it is.
But
That's a good way to look at it.
you need to check with your doctor. I mean, check with your doctor first.
Yeah. Thank you, Patricia. Glad to hear your husband is doing so much better in such a short period of time. And yeah, check with your doctor. Thank you for sharing that, Roger. And I know with our final about 3 minutes, this is crunch time, guys. Honestly, I don't want you to put this off any longer. Roger's been with us at HSN for over 23 years offering this table. This one is the best, the latest, the most upgraded, and it is on sale by $100 off. Then throw in free shipping on top of that. The savings is over the top. And you know, once you start experiencing relief again, that elongation in the spine, feeling like your posture is getting better, you know, noticing the difference in how you feel, the flexibility, the stretch that you're gonna start gaining, it's worth its weight in gold. So I can't wait for it to get there. Don't forget, it comes 85% assembled. So it's easy. It's the hardest thing is getting it out of the box. And I tell you what, then you're gonna use it, so will your partner, and everybody can benefit from it. With our final few moments, Roger, I know you're back later tonight. Is it 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock tonight? Do you recall? Eastern time?
It is, 8 o'clock.
Okay.
8 o'clock.
5 o'clock for you. All right, so, and that'll be the last show of the weekend on this sale. So I don't want you to put this off any longer. Hundreds gone, and it's always at the end of the show that everybody starts placing their orders, and that's what's happening right now. So if you need to use express ordering, feel free to do that on hsn.com. And you know what? It is on its way. You put your name on yours, and it's gonna be there in a couple of days. Roger, thank you so much for being with us today. Thank your wife, Jenny. Thank you for the knowledge and for the incredible integrity you have as a businessman. I love what Roger said. You know, you really are, you're so brilliant. You have studied the human body because of what you went through 40 plus years ago, and you've developed something that has helped not only you, but millions of others around the world.
Yeah, and I want to thank Horace for his phone call and in-depth testimony, because it's very much similar to mine. It reminds me, you know, Shannon never has a loss of words, except we had a phone call, very brief, and the woman called up and she said, I've been in pain-free for the first time in 50 years. And I thought I could kid her a little bit because she's got to be my age. She got very serious. She said, I was in a car accident at 16. I have been in constant pain for 50 years.
Wow.
I am now pain-free. Shannon had nothing to say. It never happens.
Oh, I mean, I just got tingles because it happens when you're doing this. It's, Roger, how many doctors do we hear from today? Doctor, go through the list and what their specialties were.
Well, a lot of them are spinal surgeons or people that specialize in back pain, but neurosurgeons in particular. We have Newcastle University. You want a medical study? Check Newcastle University in England. Every neurosurgeon on their staff supports Teeters, about 8 of them, every single one.
Wow.
I mean, there are certain surgeries that you must have, but the majority of them can be replaced with a regular program of using Teeter.
And that's why it's here. That's why probably you're watching today. Enjoy the rest of your beautiful afternoon with your family, Roger. We'll see you this evening at 8 o'clock, okay? Last show.
Great.
Much love. All right. And thank you. Please order yours. It's item 634808. You can do that